Hello, and welcome to Bible Body Doubling. This is where we read the stories together and we wonder out loud. I'm your host, Giovanna J, here with my co hosts, KJ5 and CSB. We are on Second Chronicles. We've completed First Samuel, Second Samuel, First Kings, Second Kings, First Chronicles. Second Chronicles is where we're at. I'm happy to be here. Are you guys happy to be here? All right, let's just get into this good book. We are on Second Chronicles. We're going to start from Solomon's chapter 1 because we stopped at, remember, David was telling Solomon all the things, his son, and he also was telling, I guess, the people that Solomon was around that he was young and inexperienced, and he was giving all this stuff. But all this is, be that as it may, all of this is a recant to what's going on. Okay. Okay. It was a story that I wanted to share with you all today, but I don't want to be judged for it. So I don't know if I want to share it. Pero I got bit by a tick. And right now I'm scared for my life. I'm up here looking at whether or not it's got a ring around it. I know ticks don't fly, but right now anything that's around me. So y'all won't have to see. I didn't want you all to witness an ending and a transitioning of a life. Be that as it may, anything around me that looks like it's going to suck my blood, I'm on guard. I had a tick. And it has been 2 days now. And I'm just like, please, 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 Lord, please don't let me have lungs. I digress. Let's get into this good book. Chapter 1. Solomon, son of David, strengthened his hold on his kingdom. Oh, let me bring this a little closer. And then I'm going to bring y'all a little over. Hold on. I'm coming. All right. Oh, I think either subscriber number 1 is on or subscriber number 2 is on. Either way, I don't have really much to choose from. Thank you. I see you. Solomon, son of David, strengthened his hold on his kingdom. The Lord, his God, was with him and highly exalted him. Then Solomon spoke to all Israel, to the commanders of thousands and of hundreds, to the judges, and to every leader in all Israel, the family heads. Solomon and the whole assembly with him went to the high place that was in Gibeon, because God's tent of meeting, which the Lord's servant Moses had made in the wilderness, was there. Now David had brought the ark. Where was it? In Gibeon. Now David had brought the ark of God from Kiriath Jearim to the place he had set up for it, because he had pitched a tent for it in Jerusalem. But he put it. Wait. I'm confused. Now David had brought the ark of God. Oh, the ark, not the tent. Now David had brought the ark of God from Kiriath Jearim to the place he had set up for it, because he had pitched a tent for it in Jerusalem. Okay, so he didn't put the ark back into the tent of meeting in Gibeon, but he put the bronze altar which Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hur, had made in front of the Lord's tabernacle. That's a lot going on. Solomon and the assembly inquired of him there. Solomon offered sacrifices there in the Lord's presence on the bronze altar at the tent of meeting. Okay, so he did put it at the tent of meeting. He offered 1,000 burnt offerings on it. That night, God appeared to Solomon and said to him, okay, all right, okay, so here go. So we see now every king, just about every king, God reveals himself to him. He did that with, the first one, start from the first one. My boy Saul. He did it with Saul, and Saul was a very sad story, right? Saul was so sad, and God had encouraged Saul, but then, Saul went his own way. Then David, and then, oh, sorry. I had got so ahead of myself. I was about to name all these other ones. I forgot we're in Chronicles. Now Solomon. But it speaks a lot to, oh, we're not there yet. Oh, guys, we need to get it together. We need to get together. We need to get together quickly so we can talk about this thing. Be that as it may. That night God appeared to Solomon and said to him, ask, what should I give you? You need some money. And Solomon said to God, you have shown great and faithful love to my father David, and you have made me king in his place. Lord God, let your promise to my father David now come true. For you have made me king over a people as numerous as the dust of the earth. Now grant me wisdom and knowledge so that I may lead these people. For who can judge this great people of yours? Oh. God said to Solomon, since this was in your heart, you have not requested riches, wealth, or glory, or for the life of those who hate you. And you have not even requested long life, but you have requested for yourself wisdom and knowledge. That you may judge my people over whom I have made you king. Wisdom and knowledge are given to you. I will also give you riches, wealth, and glory, unlike what was given to the kings who were before you, or will be given to those after you. So Solomon went to Jerusalem from the high place that was in Gibeon in front of the tent of meeting, and he reigned over Israel. Solomon accumulated 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horsemen, which he stationed in chariot cities, and with the king in Jerusalem. The king made silver and gold as common in Jerusalem as stones, and he made cedar as abundant as sycamore in the Judean foothills. Solomon's horses came from Egypt and Cu. The king's traders would get them from Q at the going price. A chariot could be imported from Egypt for 15 pounds of silver and a horse for nearly 4 pounds. In the same way, they exported them to all the kings of the Hittites and to the kings of Aram through their agent. Solomon decided to build a temple for the name of the Lord and a royal palace for himself. So he assigned 70,000 men as porters, 80,000 men as stone cutters in the mountains, and 3,600 as supervisors over them. Then Solomon sent word to King Hiram of Tyre. Do for me what you did for my father David. You sent him cedars to build him a house to live in. Now I am building a temple for the name of the Lord my God in order to dedicate it to him for burning fragrant incense before him, for displaying the rows of the bread of the presence continuously, and for sacrificing burnt offerings for the morning and the evening, the Sabbaths and the new moons, and the appointed festivals of the Lord our God. This is ordained for Israel permanently. The temple that I am building will be great, for our God is greater than any of the gods. But who is able to build a temple for him, since even heaven and the highest heaven cannot contain him? Who am I then, that I should build a temple for him, except as a place to burn incense before him. Therefore, send me an artisan who is skilled in engraving to work with gold, silver, bronze, and iron, and with purple, crimson, and blue yarn. He will work with the artisans who are with me in Judah and Jerusalem, appointed by my father David. Also send me cedar, cypress, and algum logs from Lebanon, for I know that your servants know how to cut the trees of Lebanon. Note that my servants will be with your servants to prepare logs for me in abundance, because the temple I am building will be great and wondrous. I will give your servants, the woodcutters who cut the trees, 100,000 bushels of wheat flour, 100,000 bushels of barley, 110,000 gallons of wine, and 110,000 gallons of oil. Then King Hiram of Tyre wrote a letter and sent it to Solomon. Because the Lord loves his people, he set you over them as king. Hiram also said, Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, who made the heavens and the earth. He gave King David a wise son with insight and understanding, who will build a temple for the Lord and a royal palace for himself. I have now sent Hiram Abi, a skillful man who has understanding. He is the son of a woman from the daughters of Dan. His father is that what they say? He is the son of a woman. What else would he be? He is the son of a woman. Okay. I read, sorry about that, guys. His father is a man of Tyre. He knows how to work with gold, silver, bronze, iron, stone, and wood, with purple, blue, crimson yarn, and fine linen. He knows how to do all kinds of engraving and to execute any design that may be given him. I have sent him to be with your artisans and the artisans of my lord, your father David. Now, let my lord send the wheat, barley, oil, and wine to his servant as promised. We will cut logs from Lebanon, as many as you need, and bring them to you as rafts by sea to Joppa. You can then take them up to Jerusalem. Solomon took a census of all the resident alien men in the land of Israel after the census that his father David had conducted. Okay, so he's doing a census. Ain't no angel coming with a sword over in Jerusalem. What is going on? I really, I would love to talk to everybody, but I have nobody to talk to except my subscriber number 1, subscriber number 2. And I would love to be like the rest of these influencers, like, leave it down in the chat. Leave it. But I don't know who's going to sit up here and leave it down in the chat. So that's that. But I don't know what to say. I would like for someone to leave it down in the chat. I would like that. But subscriber number 1 and subscriber number 2, I know them, and I can call them up, and pretty sure I've already asked them why, and they had no answers for me. So I'm putting out a clarion call. Be that as it may. Then Solomon began to build the Lord's temple in Jerusalem on Mount Moriah. Wait, I skipped the part. Solomon took a census of all the resident alien men in the land of Israel after the census that his father David had conducted, and the total was 153,600. Solomon made 70,000 of them porters, 80,000 stone cutters in the mountains, and 3,600 supervisors to the what is going on? And 3,600 supervisors to make the people work. Then Solomon began to build the Lord's temple in Jerusalem on Mount Moriah, where the Lord had appeared to his father David. At the site David had prepared on the threshing floor of Orion. Okay. This is the part I was talking about. Okay, so he did a census after the census where Israel almost got, and so now he's doing this census but he's okay to do the census. On the same place where David had to beg not beg, but where David had to, you know, put up an offering pleasing to his God concerning his mistake that he made with the angel sitting there with the sword out over Israel. So he goes and buys his threshing floor, and then he goes and prepare an offering and everything like that, and that appeased God, and then therefore the angel did not slay Israel. Okay, so this is the same threshing floor that I was telling y'all about the wheat, what Ornan was up there doing. Remember I showed y'all that wheat? So I'm just befuddled at what's going on. Be that as it may, I really would like to know why David got in trouble for doing the census and was tempted in the census, but Solomon does the census and nothing happens to the old boy Solomon. Then Solomon began to build the Lord's temple in Jerusalem on Mount Moriah, where the Lord had appeared to his father David. At the site David had prepared on the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. He began to build on the 2nd day of the 2nd month in the 4th year of his reign. These are Solomon's foundations for building God's temple. The length was 90 feet. Well, 90 feet. I've been saying 90 with a D all my life. And the width, 30 feet. I've been saying 30 with a D all my life. Not that I didn't know how to spell 30. But listen, 30. I don't hear a T in there nowhere. And the width, 30 feet. The portico, which was across the front, extending across the width of the temple, was 30 feet wide. Its height was 30 feet. He overlaid its inner surface with pure gold. The larger room he paneled with cypress wood overlaid with fine gold and decorated with palm trees and chains. He adorned the temple with precious stones for beauty, and the gold was the gold of Parvam. He overlaid the temple, the beams, the thresholds, its walls and doors with gold, and he carved cherubim on the walls. Then he made the most holy place. Its length corresponded to the width of the temple, 30 feet, and its width was 30 feet. He overlaid it with 45,000 pounds of fine gold. The weight of the nails was 20 ounces of gold, and he overlaid the ceiling with gold. He made 2 cherubim of sculptured work for the most holy place, and he overlaid them with gold. The overlay length of the wings of the cherubim was 30 feet. The wing of one was 7.5 feet, touching the wall of the room. Its other wing was 7.5 feet, touching the wing of the other cherubim. The wing of the other cherubim was 7.5 feet, touching the wall of the room. Its other wing was 7.5 feet, reaching the wing of the other cherubim. The wingspan of these cherubim was 30 feet. They stood on their feet and faced the larger room. He made the curtain of blue, purple, and crimson yarn and fine linen. He wove cherubim into it. In front of the temple, he made 2 pillars, each 27 feet high. The capital on top of each was 7.5 feet high. Okay, now think about it. Think about it. So if you go look in your room right now, the room you're sitting in, most rooms, if you're in the U.S. and if I want to be so bold, which I don't think this is happening right now, but if you're across seas listening to me, okay. But if you're in the States, if you're not in most standard homes that doesn't have like high ceilings and things like that, most standard rooms in the U.S. is about 8 feet tall. Just say what a door is. Most doors are about 8 feet tall, right? So you could just look at a door. You know the little caps? It's like, what can I explain? This is not a good example. This is not a good example at all. But it's like, when you have a pole, you know what? Let me do what I do best. I draw when I'm trying to explain something to somebody. Let me draw it for you. Let me draw it for the people. Okay, so you have, are y'all in there? Hold on, let me make sure you're in there. So, okay. Okay, so this is a cap. Then you have like the poles. Right? And then you have the other cap. Okay. That's what we're working with. Okay. Oh, hold on. Okay, the Bible. I'm in limited space. Okay, fighting with the Bible. Okay, so that's basically what it's looking like, right? So this like like the little poles, and it's you, cause most of us is not 8 feet tall. Let me draw you real quick. Okay, and this stick figure is gender neutral. Okay, all right, that's you. This thing right here, he said is 7.5 feet tall. Let me just put that on there. Let me hold on, because I look a little Scooby Dooby Doo. Okay. Okay, it's 7.5 feet tall. This is you. Come on, let's get into these dimensions. Can we? Shall we? Let's get into these dimensions. Look at there. That's you. You are here. Okay. Let me move this out the way. Put the word back. We had to scoot her over a little bit. All right, so let's talk about it. We talk about some beautiful stuff right now. So let's see. So it says that the capital was 7.5 feet tall. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, in the front of the temple, he made 2 pillars, each 27 feet high. The capital on top of each was 7.5 feet high. He made chain work in the inner sanctuary and also put it on the top of the pillars. He made 100. Ooh, love me a good pomegranate. He made 100 pomegranates. Now that I'm looking at pomegranate, I don't think I've been saying pomegranate grants right. I feel like pomegranates. He made 100 pomegranates. I got to look up pomegranate because I feel like maybe there perhaps is 2 spellings for it, and I would like to believe that. I want to believe that. They say that most of America read on a 4th grade level, and I won't dispute that because I just won't. Okay. It's always been spelled that way. I just cut off the nate. I just said pomegranate. Okay, let's give me a second. Give me a second. Sound like audio. Oh, that's me. Hold on. Okay, pomegranate. Let's see. Oh my goodness, that's got a lot going on over here. There we go. Awkward. Awkward again. All right, pomegranate. Pomegranate. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, there it goes. And mind you, I said this is one of my favorite things, and I can't even say the word correctly. He made 100 pomegranates and fasted them. And you know what? I'm a little upset because no one corrected me. You know, no one corrected me. No one said it. It's like the person that you see that have a little something here. No one corrected me all these years. They brought me pomegranates. I gotta reconcentrate on that to eat because they knew I loved it. No one corrected me, and I can be corrected. I can be. Uh, forgive, G. Forgive. Be that as it may. He had made chain work in the inner sanctuary and also, nope, that's not where I'm at. Let's go down. Oh, wait. I skipped the whole part. Where are we? We were on pomegranate. I think the page turned on me. Give me a second, guys. The Lord saw me get the bill. Okay, the cherubims. Was on the capital. We're on number 4. I don't remember reading Jacob. And on the left, oh, I missed the whole piece. Let's back that up because I remember Boaz and Jacob. That's the 2 pillars. Sorry, y'all. Purple crimson. Okay, let me see. Everything happened for a reason. Me not knowing how to say words. We almost missed verse 15. In the front of the temple, he made 2 pillars, each 27 feet high. The capital on top of each was 7.5 feet high. He had made chain work in the inner sanctuary and also put it on the top of the pillars. He made 100 pomegranates and fastened them into the chain work. Then he set up the pillars in front of the sanctuary, one on the right and one on the left. He named the one on the right Jachin. Jachin. We'll go with Jachin. Jachin. And the one on the left, Boaz. He made a bronze altar 30 feet long, 30 feet wide, and 15 feet high. Then he made the cast metal basin 15 feet from brim to brim, perfectly round. It was 7.5 feet high and 45 feet in circumference. The likeness of oxen was below it, completely encircling it. 10 every half yard completely surrounded the basin. The oxen was cast in 2 rows when the basin was cast. It stood on 12 oxen, 3 facing north, 3 facing west, 3 facing south. And 3 facing east. The basin was on the top of them, and all their hind quarters were toward the centers. The basin was 3 inches thick, and its rim was fashioned like the brim of a cup or a lily blossom. It could hold 11,000 gallons. He made 10 basins for washing, and he put 5 on the right and 5 on the left. The parts of the burnt offering were rinsed in them, but the basin was used by the priests for washing. He made the 10 gold lampstands according to their specifications and put them in the sanctuary, 5 on the right and 5 on the left. He made 10 tables and placed them in the sanctuary, 5 on the right and 5 on the left. He also made 100 gold bowls. He made the courtyard of the priests in the large court and doors for the court. He overlaid the doors with bronze. He put the basin on the right side toward the southeast. Then Hiram made the pots, the shovels, and the bowls. So Hiram finished doing the work that he was doing for King Solomon in God's temple. 2 pillars, the bowls and the capitals on top of the 2 pillars, the 2 gratings for covering both bowls of the capitals that were on top of the pillars, the 400 pomegranates for the 2 gratings, 2 rows of pomegranates for each grating covering both capitals, bowls on top of the pillars. He also made the water carts and the basins on the water carts, the 1 basin and the 12 oxen underneath it, the pots, the shovels, the forks, and all their utensils. Hiram Abi made them for King Solomon for the Lord's temple. All these were made of polished bronze. The king had them cast in clay molds in the Jordan Valley between Succoth and Zereda. Solomon made all these utensils in such great abundance that the weight of the bronze was not determined. Solomon also made all the equipment in God's temple: the gold altar, the tables on which to put the bread of presence, the lampstands and their lamps of pure gold to burn in front of the inner sanctuary according to the specifications, the flowers, lamps, and gold tongues of purest gold, the wick trimmers, sprinkling basins, ladleys, and fire pans of purest gold, and the entryway of the temple, its inner doors, the most holy place, and the doors of the temple sanctuary of gold. So all the work Solomon did for the Lord's temple was completed. Then Solomon brought the consecrated things of his father David, the silver, the gold, and all the utensils, and brought them in the treasury. Sorry, guys. We're only supposed to go to chapter 4. I was getting out of control. We stopped at the doors of the temple sanctuary of gold. All right. This completes our reading for today. Thank you for allowing me to read to you. This is the Bible Body Doubling Podcast, and it is sponsored by the Gardener's House. Until I read to you again, ta-ta for now.